Going through a crisis brings out the best and the worst in us. You might find yourself very, very emotional one moment or one day, and then completely in denial that this is not happening the next day, and then soaking up every bit of information you can on the next day. And wherever you are, you might find that other people that you're trying to connect with in your family or your friend circle are in the totally opposite spot, and it can make it really hard to connect. So today I want to give you a model of what's going on in your neuroanatomy of your brain and your body that will help you have a little more compassion for yourself and for others, and to be able to get to be more constructive in a crisis quickly so that we can get back to having some fun no matter what. So this is a model that comes from psychologist Dan Seigal, and even better than anything else, it involves me getting to give you a puppet show. So you might not know this about me, but when I was a teenager, I had a puppet show company with my friend Laura, and we had the Strawberry Patch Puppeteers. We were even members of Puppeteers of America, and we did birthday parties. So it's fun for me to get to do a little puppet show with you. So this is going to be your puppet. Get your hand, and you're going to put your thumb in the middle of your palm and then fold your fingers over the top. There we have our brain. So your eyes are in the front where your knuckles are. So I'm going to put little eyeballs on our little brain. And the top of the, well, actually, let's take the fingers off for a second, the eyes off for a second. We'll come back to those. The front of your brain, these fingers, that's called the cortex. And the brain is connected to the rest of your body through your spinal cord, which is represented by your wrist. And if you lift up your fingers, so you straighten your fingers, you'll get your cortex. You'll see the brain stem. So the brain stem is represented by your palm, and the brain stem is your primal brain. This used to be all the brain we had 300 million years ago. So the brain stem sends and receives messages from the brain to the body, and it takes in information from the body and helps you do things you don't think about, like breathe and how you digest food and your heart functions. So the brain stem has a lot of critical functions going on, right? So when you get your fingers up, you can also see the limbic region, which is your thumb. So when you think about your limbic region, I want you to think thumbs up, limbic region, okay? The limbic region was a massive upgrade to our brain. So 200 million years ago, we got this. So the emotional brain, the limbic brain, is going to not only give us our drive, but it'll also give us our emotions. So the limbic brain is concerned with, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And it motivates us to move toward the good things and away from the bad things. And it also holds, along with the brain stem together, they have the amygdala, which is the fight, flight, or freeze, our BFF. So that's pretty intense. But it's also, the limbic brain is also the part that helps us create memories and connect to other people. So thumbs up to the limbic brain, give it a kiss. Mwah. So if we bring our fingers back down now, we get our frontal cortex. So the cortex is our thinking brain, and it's the newest part of the brain and by far the biggest upgrade we've ever had. And it's responsible for thinking and consciousness. And it allows us to be imaginative and creative. And it can also, it's like a calculator. It can interpret our facts and our experiences. And it also will, if we let it go crazy, will let us think about thinking and about thinking and about thinking. And we can end up really dwelling and thinking too much. So what coordinates all these different parts of the brain is your little last knuckle right here, this one little line that is the prefrontal cortex. That's where your executive function is. And it's going to keep everybody working together. So when everything's going great, your brain just coordinates. But when we become distressed, then let's put our eyeballs back on. This is the puppet show part. All right, you're going to remember this. This is why I'm doing this, so you can remember this, is that when we get distressed, our emotional brain can override our thinking brain and we can flip out, ah, right? We're like this, like, ah. So when we disconnect that frontal cortex from the limbic region and the brainstem and the body and the social factors in that rest of the situation, we are emotionally overridden. And what happens in that situation is our world becomes completely chaotic, and that's panicking. And even more important, our thinking is completely rigid. We're not open to any kind of change. We're not open to any ideas. We can't really think very much. We're just very, very focused. So you have experienced all of these things, and so has everybody else. And so we want to think like when we get this upset, think about, giving your emotional part of your brain a kiss, like, "Mwah, good brain, love you. Thank you for taking care of me." We want to try to calm it back down so that we can get thinking again. And if we find that we are overthinking, then we need to give it a little bit of a, ooh, we need to wake it up a little bit so that we can get our emotion connecting and that we're not just thinking, thinking, thinking. So I hope that helps to think about your brain just a little bit. I hope that as you are experiencing things that might feel like you're flipping out a little bit, you'll think about this example. It can actually help to physically put your hand in the picture and like close it back down and say like, I'm going to get a handle on this. So uh, I hope that we can use a lot of the connection part of our limbic brain and the wonderful thinking and creativity part of our cortex to come up with really good solutions that we can't even imagine right now while we're more upset. And I know that when we do that, we do get some of our best coping mechanisms in a crisis and we bring out our best. So I look forward to the days ahead of figuring out how to be creative and resourceful and to take the best that we can of our compassion and share it with others. And I wish you a day of lots of happiness in it, no matter what.